Wonderful Thursday. Your girl been retwisting some of her hair. I ain't finished, but I went on here to take a moment because I just thought about something. I was watching a video and mental illness was talking about how most of the time you know who the new supply is, or you know who the supply is, you know what I'm saying, or you done met them before, but they hide them so good that y'all don't run across each other in that way, or you don't find out that they're a supply at that time. So one day I come home from grocery shopping. He's in here, he's in the kitchen and he's putting things up. I think he had just washed dishes or whatever to make room for when I bring all the groceries and stuff in. We can put them on the counter and, making room and stuff, and he can put them up. So he's got his phone on speakerphone, and on the phone I can hear a woman. Now I tell y'all, by some of his conversations, I can tell who's on the phone. Whether he knows it or not, I can tell who he's talking to just by the certain things that he's responding to them. Like, it don't even have to be on speakerphone. I just know who he's talking to by the things that he's saying. So this day he got the phone on speakerphone, and the woman on the phone just laying on the word bae. She just like bae after everything she's saying. And so I'm like, when I walked in, I heard, "Ain't that right, bae?" And I'm like, nah, I didn't just hear bae. So I ignored it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, maybe I'm hearing things. Maybe I'm looking for something, you know what I'm saying? So I continue to proceed to take the groceries into the kitchen and put them on the counter. And so at this point, he's still turned around putting something in the cabinet. And so I hear her again. And she's like, "Bae, you think I should..." I'm like, hold on. I'm like, "Who is that? And why is she calling you bae?" And he said her name. He's like, "You know who this is. My client, this, that, and the third." I say, if you're bae, then you need to be over there with her. She don't need to be calling you bae. So now she done hung up. And I'm telling him, I'm like, listen, that's mad disrespectful. I was like, first of all, she ain't got no business calling you bae, and you here living with me. That's not gonna work for me. And he was like, "Say, I done told you about that jealous stuff. I told you I don't like no jealous woman. I don't care what you don't like at this moment. It ain't right that you sitting here with your phone on speakerphone and this lady laying on the bae word as if you and her together. If that's bae and you're bae, you need to be over there with bae then. Go get bae. Bae, come get your bae." So we go out of town. After that happens, we don't go out of town right away, like the next day or anything like that. But sometime after that happened, you know what I'm saying? So we got on by because, he going to lie about the situation anyway. And so if they aren't prayer warriors, then they're clients. So like I told you, he like older women. He like to take advantage of older women too. So she was an older woman. And so obviously he's taking advantage of her too. She's a supply. I know that he would get some of his medical supplies, like therapeutic socks and things like that, from this lady because she has, medical problems and stuff too, and she can get access to those things. And so when she was presented to me, she was that lady who he would help take her to her doctor's appointments and things when she couldn't drive. She was overweight, so she needed a chauffeur or whatever. No, I'm lying. She didn't even need a chauffeur because she could drive. But it was just that whenever he was in town, she would request that he would come and run her to the doctor's appointment or whatever, drive her car and take her to her doctor's appointments and her elderly mother and stuff like that or whatever. So, you know what I'm saying? When I came into the relationship, this was things he was doing, but I didn't know that these were supplies. I didn't know these were people who he was, dealing with, like he was dealing with me, you know what I'm saying? So I just really thought that because she was older or whatever, and on the disabled side and stuff like that, that he wouldn't be dealing with her, because I'm on the younger side. And so I'm thinking, maybe he is just helping her, she's just client. But in my self-awareness, now that I know, y'all don't mind, my washing machine is going, one of these days it's going to walk up out of here. But if y'all hear that noise, that's my washing machine and they're doing its business. It's kind of off the track, so my son trying to figure out how to get it back on track. So yeah, my washing machine and they're rocking and rolling right now. So if y'all hear anything, that's my washing machine, okay? Not an earthquake or anything like that. But yes, so I just thought that, you know, she was really a client, somebody he helps out or whatever, and she helps him out from time to time or whatever. So we go out of town shortly after this happens, and we head over to, I knew the lady's name, but I didn't know where she stayed. And so I used to tell him all the time, he be thinking he done took me to all of these different places that he done took, but I always tell him, you got your girls mixed up. You got your women's mixed up because you ain't never took me here before. He was like, I done took you over here before and want to argue me down. And I'm like, bruh, I know where you take me, and you've never taken me over here. This gonna be my first time actually seeing this woman face to face. I've only heard you having conversations with her, and she ain't never had a conversation with me nor asked about me. I'm finna finally meet this lady who is a client. But when I get there, she says to me, you know what I'm saying? He was like, you always hollering about, I don't introduce you to none of my friends and my prayer warriors and my clients and stuff. Here's such and such. I'm like, okay, hey, how you doing or whatever. And so I guess she was like, I didn't want you to be offended by me calling him babe. An old player trying to teach a younger player how to play the game. And I'm telling you, I ain't going for it because been there, done that. I've been the side piece before, and I know how to act accordingly when we come up on the main chick. I know how to act. I know how to act cordial. I know how to pretend like we ain't got nothing going on. And that's what she was trying to do to me, but I was seeing straight through it. She was even so cocky, y'all. She was trying to give me pointers on how to handle my man. Baby, y'all not together. You can't tell me what to do, and what you're accepting, I'm not accepting. And what I'm accepting, you probably wouldn't accept. So you ain't got to tell me nothing about how I need to operate with him, because you don't got him still. And what you trying to tell me is that I need to sit here and allow him to do the things that he's doing. Hey, listen, no, get somebody else to do it. He might do those type of things with y'all, but he don't do that with me. So she introduced herself. She was like, I call everybody bae. Oh, you do? So then she proceeds to call me bae. That's supposed to make it fair. That's supposed to make it seem real. She was like, bae, come on up, grab you up a chair, bae, and come on and sit down over here. She talking to me though, not him. She's talking to me. So now she's calling me bae. And she's trying to get me to believe that it ain't what I think it is. I call everybody bae. So when I was calling him bae, I didn't want you to feel offended or anything like that. I call everybody bae. That's why I call you bae. This, that, and the third. Okay, you're a little older than me, but I wasn't born yesterday. I've been around the block myself, ma'am. With all due respect, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I get it. But I ain't going for it. So she was just like, I be telling him all the time that he need to calm down. I don't know why when he get up in the morning time, he got to be a butthole. She was like, sometimes you just got to let him get up. Don't say nothing to him. Let him, get his little smoke on and then get his mind right, and then he'll be ready to talk. I said, no, ma'am. I said, I don't need no help in that department. I said, because I'm not going for that. He might have did that with y'all or with you. But I don't play that with me. You gonna wake up and say good morning to me before you say anything negative, or you start fussing, or you start doing anything. You gonna say good morning before you start any of your foolishness. If you gonna say anything to me in the morning, you gonna say good morning. And that's what we gonna do. And that's what I was trying to instill in him. I don't care what you got going on when you wake up in the morning. Don't let your phone be the first person you say hello to or good morning to, and then you roll over and look at me like, dang, I wish you wasn't in this bed this morning. I wish you didn't wake up. No, we not gonna do that. You gonna give me the same respect that you're giving to others. If you can wake up in the morning time and go tell walk out the door and go tell everybody else good morning, look at your phone, pick up the phone and call somebody and say good morning, you can roll over with the one who slept with you last night and you can say good morning. It ain't gonna hurt you. I'm not waiting for you to smoke. I'm not waiting for you to eat no breakfast, because as soon as I open my eyes, you the first thing I see. But when I first open my eyes, of course, I say my prayers and I thank the Lord for waking me up and everything. But then the second thing I see in the morning time is you. And I say good morning. And I get a grunt from you. So, all that time though, I thought that she was just a client, somebody that he helps, somebody who helps him from now, every now and then or whatever. But no, come to find out, because when we be on those little breaks or whatever, things that I have questions to, I ask him about it. When he come back in and do the gaslighting and the hoovering, I ask him questions and he give me the answers. I already be knowing the answers, but he lied about those things when we were together. So he ain't gonna tell me nothing when we together, but when we separated, he'll tell me everything. So I asked him. You know what I'm saying? Or he'll tell on himself. I just let him talk and he'll be like, yeah, because I used to date the lady that I had took you over to her house, the real big lady. Yeah, I used to date her. Oh, now you tell me. I said, I figured it, but now you tell me. So she ain't just an ex. She's still a supply that you use currently, that you done took me to her house. And she played the game right along with you. So she's aware of his shenanigans. And she's cool with it. Like I said, been there, done that. But she wasn't fooling me. And so I asked him when we were separated, before he came back in. Because that happened the time before he done came back so much, y'all. I had to try to figure out which time did he come back. So it was the last 3 times is when I started waking up. So the first time before the last 2 times here is when that happened. So when we be on those breaks or whatever, and anything that I want to ask him, I ask him, and then sometimes he will just tell on himself. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. I be remembering some things, y'all, and then I be just trying to put it all together and try to, figure out how I'm gonna tell the story, because the mess is crazy. It's absolutely bananas. Like, the games that they play with you, and they try to make you think you crazy about it all, when you know what you know and you feel what you feel. That's why I tell y'all, we ain't gonna be sleeping on our guts, our feelings, and the visions that God give us. He waking us up so we can see what need to be seen. And I'm telling y'all, just playing so many games with me, and then try to, on the other end, he want to act like he just right in everything, and he's not ever wrong. But I'm the one always in the wrong. But we know how these narcs do. We know they full of lies, full of crap. And if you let them, they'll run you in the ground. So, y'all, I appreciate everything y'all do. Thanks for the likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. Continue doing that. Last night, I want to thank Miss Savannah Rodriguez for coming through on the Star Maker karaoke app. And she joined my family last night. And she didn't join my family, but she joined us in the karaoke room last night. And so it felt amazing to have one of my subscribers come over and hang out with us and just have a good time in the karaoke room. And so, Savannah, you the GOAT. I thank you, boo, for that. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed yourself. And I hope that's not the last time we'll see you in the building. So, y'all have an awesome day. Remember, grow something. And most importantly, fall in love with yourself more and more every day, no matter whether it's one day at a time, a little bit at a time, one step at a time, 1 minute at a time. You better do it, because we got to love ourselves. We got to fall in love with us first, okay? And I hope we growing something. This food looking kind of iffy. So I hope we out here growing something, y'all. Get something growing in a pot or in the yard. Do whatever you got to do. But long as you got something growing, you ain't gonna ever starve. And so I just want to make sure my subbies, my little family or big family, we straight no matter what. If we stay ready, we ain't gotta get ready. I love y'all. Have a great day. I'm gonna try to post another video today, but your girl is like, I'm feeling like lazy today. Like I think the vacation is starting to get to me, y'all. I'm getting real lazy and bougie, cause like I'm bed pimping up in here. I'm telling you, y'all, I gotta do something. I gotta make something move, because I'm enjoying being in my bed a little bit too much that I don't want to do nothing at all. It ain't nothing wrong with that, because I've been moving. So if I want to sit down for a minute and just chill and not do nothing at all, I'm entitled to do that. I don't work my behind off this year, so I'm good. So it is what it is. But y'all have an awesome day. I love y'all and thank y'all for everything y'all do. Mwah. Bye.